News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with new developments in the weapons investigation near Western University. London police say the RCMP are involved, while new charges have been laid against one of the suspects. With the latest, here's Rita Ismail.
Appearing by video from the Elgin Middlesex Detention Centre, Zaykan Wang had a calm demeanor throughout the roughly 15-minute hearing. Wang is now facing 4 new charges in relation to the alleged improper storage and possession of a handgun, as well as the alleged unauthorized manufacture of a firearm. The investigation began nearly 2 weeks ago after a trespassing arrest at Western University led police to a loaded handgun. Officers later searched a nearby residence on Chesham Avenue where hazardous chemicals capable of being used to create explosives were discovered. Since then, additional search warrants have been executed in Ottawa and Gatineau. London Police now confirming the RCMP has been notified and is providing support in the investigation.
It's not unusual in an investigation that you involve another police service, QPP, or the RCMP, who are involved mainly in policing out west, to help the investigation. Now, the twist to this is it's not only the RCMP, because obviously there's some information that needs to be investigated outside the province of Ontario, but it's the Integrated National Security Enforcement team that's involved, that deals predominantly with, investigating, disrupting, and preventing terrorism.
Meanwhile, a video on YouTube, which appears to be published by one of the accused 3 months ago, shows a pitch of a startup called Moore's Lab.
We are building a mobile and low-cost system capable of detecting and defeating micro and mini uncrewed aerial systems.
Several of the accused appear in the video. However, it's unclear how this project is connected to the police investigation.
My name is Jerry Tong. I studied integrated engineering at Western University.
A publication ban remains in place on much of the evidence in this case, limiting what can be publicly reported. All 4 of the accused remain in custody and are scheduled to return to court later this month. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Oxford OPP say they've identified human remains that were discovered back in September. They say they were called to a property in southwest Oxford Township for suspected human remains. Police say a post-mortem examination was carried out, determining the person who died was 45-year-old Corey Gigot, who had been reported missing from Woodstock since 2023. They say a cause of death has not been determined and no further details were provided. Residents of a townhouse complex in Sarnia say they're facing eviction notices from the same property owner trying to remove tenants in Chatham, Kent and Tillsonburg. However, as Brian Bicknell reports, one legal expert says they don't have to go anywhere anytime soon.
I can't afford the rents that are out there now. I can't afford it.
Jody Rand is worried sick. She's about to lose her home.
I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. Now I'm expected to pack up a house and move a house and do all these things. How?
A tenant of this townhouse complex on Exmouth Street in Sarnia, she recently received word from her new landlord she has to move out because her place is being renovated and asbestos has to be removed.
We have to be out by the end of May, and if we would like a cash for keys deal, they're offering us $5,000 to be out by the end of March.
In the past week, CTV News has reported on tenants in buildings in Chatham, Kent and Tillsonburg who received the same notices from the same property owner. Douglas Kwan with the Advocacy Center for Tenants says tenants can only be ordered out pending the outcome of a legal tribunal.
Understand that these letters are just merely letters that without any power to actually end your tenancy. In order to end the tenancy, they need to prove their case at the Landlord and Tenant Board. So my advice to all the tenants is to get proper legal advice from their local legal clinic so they can know their rights and to properly respond to these threats.
In the meantime, some tenants have enlisted the support of City Councillor Bill Dennis. He's filed a notice of motion calling for a bylaw to prevent rent evictions.
We have to protect our most vulnerable, and if we don't, we're going to see a lot more of this happen.
Once again, we reached out to the name on the real estate company's correspondence, claiming to be the owner and the director of the company, Rex Brondile. We were hoping to get an interview to respond to these allegations of rent eviction, but we didn't get a response. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
3 municipal buildings on Wellington Road are sent for an energy audit and condition assessment that might lay the groundwork for a new shared energy system, reducing utility costs and cutting emissions. With more, here's Daryl Newcomb.
The close proximity of 3 municipal buildings on Wellington Road, Dearness Home, Fire Hall 9, and the Welcome Center, might provide a prime opportunity for City Hall to install a so-called micro-district energy system.
If you have a cluster of buildings close together and you're able to provide them with electricity or with heat, it's more efficient that way, it's more reliable, and so we've had discussions in the past at Council and with London Hydro at looking at opportunities where we could build this kind of system.
And it's no longer just an idea. This week, a council committee debated entering into a grant agreement with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities to investigate long-term energy efficiency improvements at 9 city-owned buildings, including the 3 on Wellington. FCM would provide up to $200,000 if London contributes $185,000. A letter from London Hydro suggests there'd be value in the subsequent reports. Quote, for example, modeling a micro-scale district energy system for a cluster of buildings within the project scope presents a unique opportunity for exploration.
I think this is a somewhat modest investment to potentially have a lot of operating returns in the long run, including some, permanently lowered utility bills for some of our facilities.
The report by city staff says FCM specifically recognized this proposal as an innovative aspect of the city's grant application.
It also makes us more resilient from, for example, if there's power outages or brownouts, we would be able to control our own energy system a lot easier. And I think that's important in long-term care homes.
There's no current timeline or budget for a shared energy system, but the energy audits and feasibility studies of the municipal buildings are a necessary first step.
This will provide us that roadmap, and again, somebody else is willing to help pay for it, so I think it's a win for Londoners.
Council will consider entering into the Green Municipal Fund grant agreement with FCM on February 10th. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A vacant building in the Old East Village was torn down today after years of neighbor complaints. The property was a former bank at Dundas and Lyle. Neighbors and nearby business owners described it as a magnet for people experiencing homelessness. Firefighters had also been called to the scene last month.
When I purchased this building 16 years ago, there was a bright future that I saw. I'm sorry, but after 14 years, that future, well, it didn't happen yet.
The property owner also controls residential towers in the area, and the local BIA officials say there have been conversations with company officials about the plans for this property's future. Chicken farmers from across Canada are in London this week for the National Poultry Show. They're all gathering here amid regional concerns over avian flu outbreaks and other issues impacting the industry. With more, here's Sean Irvin.
It is a show about chickens and eggs, but you won't find any live examples here. With ongoing outbreaks of avian flu, the National Poultry Show is taking steps to protect its product.
Avian influenza, is one of the biggest challenges we've ever faced, and that's why it's so important for farmers to do that biosecurity. And even at this show, as you said, signs outside, making sure that farmers are adhering to all the biosecurity protocols, because we don't want to spread that disease.
While the flu risk is not discredited, the vast majority of 200 million chickens produced in Ontario enter the province's food supply. The prices of both chicken and eggs have been rising, but the industry claims it is protecting Canadian consumers.
You see in the States, they had egg prices, really exploded last year. Well, that really didn't happen in Canada. And I think it was the benefits of supply management that really helped Canadian consumers.
But ensuring stable supply and delivery is only part of the process.
As with just about any industry in this day and age, new technology is leading the way for poultry, and AI is just hatching.
Already, artificial intelligence is helping to grade eggs and monitor their condition.
Well, producers are always looking for that little next level of technology that'll give them an edge. And of course, in a business like eggs, keeping your cracks down is of the most importance. So when we bring out new technology, it's all focused on helping the producer deliver the best quality egg possible.
But machines like this cost upwards of $200,000. That's a lot for those looking to start out, even if they are connected to a farm family.
That's what makes all the difference. Unfortunately, it seems it's pretty restrictive to get in without that.
But the risk remains. This young family recently set up a farm property. A new chicken barn is on its way.
It's already going up, so perfect world, we'd say by June.
The Poultry Show runs through Thursday. In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
The London Knights hosted the Kitchener Rangers tonight, welcoming back a pair of former players traded to Kitchener last month.
Bringing in a cross line, put in front of the net, they score! Kept in front of the net, and it's Sam O'Reilly scoring right here.
O'Reilly in his return, giving his new team the lead in the second period. He and Jared Woolley were traded to by the Knights for a substantial draft pick package, and they both picked up points tonight. And O'Reilly wasn't done there.
Headman pass, and now the Rangers pick their way to the line. Here's O'Reilly shooting, he scores!
That capped off a three-point performance for O'Reilly, while Woolley chipped in an assist. O'Reilly earned first star of the game honors, while Woolley was named the game's second star. Final score in overtime, Rangers 4, Knights 3. Next up for London, they host the Niagara Ice Dogs Friday night at Canada Life Place. A local company has found success in a niche market catering to all the behind-the-scenes needs for youth sports teams. Brent Lale has more on the services it provides and the substantial demand.
Any parent of a child in competitive sports knows the logistical headaches of traveling out of town.
The Monday, they need 8 rooms.
That's where London tech company Vacant steps in.
Tournament organizers want to do what they do best, which is run events.
With over 100 employees, the booming business handles rostering, scheduling, and scoring for youth sports tournament and competition organizers.
And our big component is helping families and participants get their hotel rooms sorted so they can have a fantastic experience.
Okay, that sounds good.
Working with both nonprofit and private organizations across North America, Vacant books millions of hotel rooms for travel parents each year.
We are running 3 tournaments a year. Each tournament is 40 teams. So as you can imagine, when you got 25, 30 teams from out of town all coming in to the area for hotels, we'd be lost as an association on trying to house those teams. They do all the heavy lifting.
Tourism London worked with them when hosting the Ontario Summer Games.
That's a big event with a lot of participants, and so to be able to streamline that service, and they were even able to, they're a technology company, so build some new programs and software for us around volunteer registration that wasn't done before, and they've now used that as something that they can offer to future events.
Launched 13 years ago, the company continues to grow.
We can't hire fast enough. Sports doesn't slow down outside of a couple weeks in August when people replan for the next year. From sand soccer, foot golf, Quidditch, to obviously the big travel sports in volleyball, hockey, basketball, baseball, you name it. Millions of room nights and the teams that are associated with it coming from everywhere it's a lot of logistics, but it's also a lot of fun.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
A new initiative has launched in Exeter, offering to pay for laundry services for anyone who can't otherwise afford them. With more on the project, here's Scott Miller.
Mark Denemy drove by his friend's laundromat one morning and saw an unhoused man inside.
He kind of explained to me that there's a little bit of an issue here where people aren't able to afford laundry, but at least they can be warm in this place. So then the wheels kind of got turning, and By probably 7:30 that morning, we had came to an agreement to start this Loonies for Laundry initiative where we can make sure that laundry wasn't a luxury for these people.
The Exeter Lions and Sawyer's Dry Cleaning and Laundry have each contributed $600 to launch Loonies for Laundry, an initiative to help those that can't afford to pay to clean their clothes.
It gives them something to look forward to that day, and then maybe put the right step forward for something, maybe a job interview that day, or something along those lines that they can help themselves and a step in the right direction to help better themselves.
Denemy says laundry is something most people take for granted, but for those living at or below the poverty line, it's a luxury.
There was a student who fell in the springtime or in the fall and got a grass stain on his pants, and they relayed to the teachers that they were very upset because they weren't going to be able to get those out. That essentially laundry wasn't something they got to do in the luxury of their home or every day like most people.
While an initiative like this may not have been used very much, say 4 or 5 years ago here in Exeter, there is a growing unhoused problem here in this community, as there is across all of Ontario. The $1,200 raised so far from the Lions and Sawyers will fund laundry punch cards that local schools and social organizations will distribute to those families that need it most. Loonies for Laundry donation jars are also set up at local businesses for those that want to help.
And the idea is hopefully over time it funds itself and we can continue to help those people out.
Solving homelessness is definitely the greater issue, but for now this is one step in the right direction to provide our community with at least the necessity of clean clothes.
In Exeter, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Former CFPL sportscaster Pete James has died. James started his career in St. Catharines before moving to London, where he spent 25 years as the station's sports director. He later became the color commentator for the London Knights until his retirement in 2010. James was also inducted into the London Sports Hall of Fame in 2009. He was 88 years old. Later on CTV News, checking in ahead of the opening ceremony, we head to Milan for an Olympic scene setter. Canada's main stock index finished higher after losses earlier in the day. The TSX gained 183 points in New York. The Dow added 260. The Nasdaq lost 351. The Canadian dollar down almost 1/10 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained almost $16 an ounce. Oil is up almost $2 a barrel. Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper says Liberals and Conservatives should come together in the face of Alberta separatism and punishing American tariffs. To that end, Mark Carney has been meeting with other party leaders, including Pierre Poilievre today. With more on that, here's Mike Lecouture.
Good to see you. This is not hope. This is not hope over here. Well, look at this.
The Conservative leader with a dig at his Liberal colleagues ahead of a meeting with the Prime Minister.
We have been working to fast track anything that we believe, however modest, might make life a little more affordable, a little safer, and our economy a little stronger. So it's he that is holding up the show.
A senior government source tells CTV News the Prime Minister was hoping to talk about nation-building measures, something the Liberal government feels is critical as Canada prepares for the review of CUSMA.
In fact, we need to work together.
Conservative MP Jamil Javani, meanwhile, is heading to Washington this week on a solo mission to improve trade relations between Canada and the U.S. He's a longtime friend of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance.
I haven't talked to him in about a year about those issues. I would like to use that relationship for the good of the country, but I also don't want to interfere in what the Prime Minister's doing.
Javani was pushing for a meeting with the Prime Minister, but he did get one with the Minister in charge of Canada-U.S. trade.
Minister LeBlanc gave a briefing to Mr. Javani, who I don't believe is the trade critic for the opposition, certainly not the Minister of International Trade, nor the Prime Minister.
But some members of Cabinet are casting doubt on whether Javani can or will help.
I really hope that he spoke about the closure of GM in his writing, because Ingersoll has been closed for now 4 months, and I haven't heard him once.
While a number of Conservative MPs are confident Javani can use his contacts to make a difference, Pouliev says he told his MP the most important thing is to fight for the jobs in his community. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening. Bitterly cold wind chills continue overnight, feeling close to -20 to about -23. That's where we'll start our morning. Thank you, Terry English, for this photo of Bix. Terry says Bix name stands for Bull in a China Shop. So Bix looks pretty cute there out there in the snow. -16 to -15 first thing in the morning. Winds kicking around to the southwest. Clouds will be moving in and flurries in the forecast. We'll talk about snowfall amounts with the Clipper coming in Thursday night into Friday. I'll have your local weather in just a few minutes.
Welcome back on the desk with Julie Atchison now. And as we look ahead to the weekend, some pretty cold temperatures still in the forecast. But if you just look past that, a couple days after the weekend, we get through a decent warm-up.
Yeah, a pattern shift underway in the forecast. We're going to finally battle our way out of the deep freeze. Conditions looking much improved, Carlyle, by about Tuesday next week. So we do have a cold weather weekend setting up. We have to get through that with a Clipper on the move. Recapping today's numbers, -6 and -11, so still well below normal. It's cold out there tonight. -17 to -18 and wind chills close to a -20. We will see partly cloudy conditions through the overnight. And then as we head into tomorrow, we do have high pressure in play early, but clouds quickly moving in as our Clipper comes in from the northwest. So through the day, Thursday, chance for flurries in the afternoon, about 40%. It'll be Thursday night, likely after midnight, until we start to see some accumulation and into Friday morning. Now, this isn't one of those big snowstorms, but it's enough to pack a punch in the area. It'll be the sharp Arctic cold front that follows that will bring a resurgence of cold air over the Great Lakes, allowing temperatures to drop off and bitterly cold wind chills expected this weekend. So timing on the Clipper system coming in. So this is Thursday. So watch this initial wave with the Clipper. It falls apart. You can see really not a lot from that. It'll be Thursday night into Friday morning where things really start to fill in. So snowfalls expected, cloudy conditions and snowfall amounts generally about 5 centimeters in London as we head into your Friday. Parts of Midwestern Ontario closer to 8. So we're going to go 5 to 10 for you. Cold air, though, will encompass the entire region again this weekend. So we're talking bitterly cold wind chills. I know there are a number of outdoor activities to go to. Of course, people maybe planning some Super Bowl fun outside. If you are going to be outdoors doing anything, make sure you're dressed appropriately. We're talking wind chills close to about -30. So -7, the forecast high tomorrow. The winds will kick around to the southwest in advance of the Clipper. The Clipper comes in on Friday, blowing snow and gusty winds Friday night. Temperatures drop. Friday night, we're down to -17 heading into Saturday morning. The weekend overnight lows from -17 to -18. Daytime highs at -8 to -14. So a cold weekend. And then early next week, mainly cloudy Sunday, Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. Daytime highs will recover midweek. We're at about 0 to +1. So we are heading in the right direction. So this will be it. I'm hoping for the bitterly cold temperatures. We are going to see things shift heading into next week. We just got to get through this weekend, friends. So -8 tomorrow with about a 40% chance of flurries in through here on Perth, Grey and Bruce County, and then snow developing by Thursday night. Snow in the forecast on Friday, clearing though for the weekend, but cold with overnight lows from -20 to -22. More cloud cover than sunshine early next week, but we'll take some milder temperatures with that, from 0 to +1 across the region. So getting ready for some colder air once again this weekend. I'm thinking this will be the end of those bitterly cold wind chills. Not quite out of the cold weather just yet, but as we head into early next week, we have signs. Definitely things are moving in the right direction. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks, Julie. A warning for anyone planning a winter escape to Cuba. The Caribbean island is dealing with power outages, communications issues, and supply shortages. With more, here's Adrian Gobriel.
A hotbed for Canadian tourists for its warm waters, sandy shores, and rich culture. And now a heightened travel advisory has been issued for Cuba. Posted today, this notice is urging Canadians to exercise a high degree of caution in Cuba due to worsening shortages of electricity, fuel, and basic necessities, including food, water, and medicine, adding that the situation is unpredictable and could deteriorate, disrupting flight availability on short notice.
All the power gets knocked out and the cell phone coverage gets knocked out.
To reduce pressure on the country's electrical network, Cuba has been scheduling lengthy daily power cuts, though Ottawa says unexpected nationwide outages may last more than 24 hours. Between April 2023 and March 2024, roughly 700,000 Canadians traveled to Cuba, making it the country's 5th most popular travel destination. Canadians on the island should heed this advice, according to one tourism management professor.
Take an actual paper copy of your passport, because if you run out of power, your phone may not work to show the picture of it. Bring along any extra medication. Once again, with your travel insurance, make sure what the cancellation policies actually are.
Cuba is largely a cash-only island. The American dollar and euro are widely accepted, though the advisory warns of petty theft and to avoid showing large amounts of cash in public.
For Canadians who are in Cuba or those with plans to still travel there, you're being advised to go online and sign up with registration for Canadians abroad. It may also be a good idea to keep the phone number for the embassy in Havana on hand. Adrian Gobro, CTV News, Toronto.
Finally tonight, rainy days are leading into the Winter Olympics in Italy. Competition is actually already underway with the opening ceremony coming up on Friday. And despite a soggy start, as Heather Butts reports, there's no dampening the excitement.
A constant rain soaking the city, turning popular landmarks into a sea of umbrellas. In the north, it meant snow for the mountain regions just in time for the global event, drawing Olympic fans from around the world, including the Grandillo family from Montreal.
This is the 30th birthday trip, kind of a bucket list item for us. The opening ceremonies are on my birthday, on my 30th birthday, and being Italian, it just seemed like the most fitting event.
Though they expected more Olympic flair to be flooding the streets, not rain.
To be honest, it's not really in your face. We do see it here and there at corners, but we haven't really captured that vibe yet. I'm sure it's coming, though.
Their sights set on snowboarding and hockey. With the games spread out, Milan will only see part of the action.
Per il momento, no.
No?
No.
Few crowds right now, he says, but they are expected. Organizers say all competition venues are fully operational. Still, construction at the hockey rink isn't complete.
Do we have every single space in that venue finished? No. And is it absolutely needed for the games? No.
Aside from the main facilities, there are sure signs something monumental is about to happen here, drawing more than just regular tourists.
Here's something else adding to the energy. Media from around the world, such as myself, here to cover this event. Take a look at the rooftop studios using the historic Duomo as a backdrop.
We only just got here and we were like, wow, everything's Olympics. It's great. It's so much fun. I love it.
The organizing committee is pointing to the torch relay as a driver for national excitement.
This is fun to be in an environment with like thousands of people and all here for just one simple reason. It's fun.
That momentum is also reflected in demand from spectators, with roughly 1.2 million event tickets already sold and only a limited number remaining for the opening ceremony. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.